I need to restart my PC.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Monster Interrupted, the podcast. We are playing Abomination Vaults. That's right, Pathfinder's second edition Abomination Vaults. This, I hear, has become the go-to module. Like, not only did they rent it out to that other dice company that we all used to be affiliated with and converted it to the 5e world, it's gotten a lot of good review. I think it's because of its simplicity. Classic dungeon crawl with a town literally a hop, skip, and a jump away to run back and heal and nap and all those things. When last we left our party, you guys were running away. I mean, tactfully escaping the Karens of the Netherworld. You guys had surfaced with not one, but 3 original party members. Cognal Anvilbender, played by Corey, Karam, the Halfling Investigator, and, of course, the mighty Kuragga, who went back in with you guys. And now we have Kenro, the Hedonistic Cleric, Dubsy, the Gripply Rogue, and the rest of the cast doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I'm just teasing people that showed up late, or not getting here and on time. And Gilligan's Isle and all the rest. You guys want to do what exactly? What do you want to do now? Let's zoom in on your current position. If you look at at the very top of the map where it says Fogfen, you will actually see Gauntlight Keep is actually on the Altari map. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
Way up. Way up. What do you guys want to do?
I think our first step should be to go back to town and get a little rest. And
Yeah? You want to visit the Hit Point store?
yeah, hit point store, buy a couple naps.
You're the cleric. You are the Hit Point store. You are the Brute Squad.
I am all out of stock. We got our butt handed to us by that Drake.
Yeah, you'd think bottlenecking it out of the water is a good tactic and not bad, but you just couldn't coax it up on land. And the cool thing about anything that has a name, they usually give it a tactic going, it will do this and generally do that and blah, blah, blah. And I expand said script, but I won't throw it out. I hate DMs that just like the writer wrote something and went, well, my party has this, and I know they'll instantly counteract the thing's tactics. And so I'm going to completely like come up with brand new tactics that'll challenge the piece. Oh, come on. The thing was built as a monster. Why it's here is written in. How it acts is written in. If the players are lucky enough to have the right spell or come up with tactics that are workaround, then let them cake it. Now, that's assuming you have a party of 4. I'm always guilty of having 5, Star Wars 6, and have some overpowered players in some of our other games. And, things go all kinds of sideways. So with Kenro looking for the Hit Point store, Dubsy and Karam. I guess it's decision time for Drew. But before we get into that, Gregor, we're dragging our butts back to town to get healed. Kuragga, you owe certain blacksmith money. Did you make any money on this trip? No.
No, I'm pretty sure you guys made me hump a bear when I wasn't playing.
No. We're not playing Baldur's Gate. But nice callback. I do Baldur's. Have you seen this meme? Try put this up. Of all the things you could do to hype Baldur's Gate 3, they're like, be a druid, change form, and go find yourself a real bear and get nasty with it. In game.
You can play like a team. It's multiplayer, and you can play with like a full campaign.
Yes.
Right?
When this comes out, I want to lay the money down and Cheryl, and it would be cool to pick a night. But again, like, we're already doing this for 2 nights to try and get steady players to show up
Yeah,
let's make
yeah,
Wednesday
like you'd
video
have to
game
have-
day. Yeah,
You'd have to have like multiple games, multiple campaigns going at that point where like you'd have one with your buddies that you'd play like once a week or something. And like
I'm
it would
actually
take, like,
afraid
a
we're going to
year
lose
or
you, that
more.
you're going to drift away. We lost you when the PS5 came out. Don't lie. It's shinier than me. I get it. But back to Drew. Karam or Dubsy? Who goes for the who gets the backdrop and who gets the foreground?
Dubsy is going to be handling the missions for
Okay.
now.
You're our skill guy because you were playing a rogue and investigator, very similar skill sets. Okay. So original party gets pardoned. Corey at this point is a show when he can. Unfortunately, the gentleman is such a sweet guy in real life. He's a real ass to me because we're friends on mic, but he is the sweetest man in real life. I mean, here's a guy that knew Spiegler 3 days and spots him on the highway. And Spiegler pulls over and they take a picture together. They hardly know each other, taking these pictures together. One's all in his Canadian CityWorks uniform. Spiegler's all in his FedEx gear, and they're posing, you know. And FedEx, we're not supposed to take pictures of ourselves doing anything. They're very lid tight on that kind of thing. Eric, who I've known virtually for a couple months, been working. Okay, I moved, and this guy lives 4 hours away, offered to drive 4 hours to help me move. Wonderful people.
The way it goes.
Troy, I'm in awe of because he actually ran a gaming shop in Lakefield for quite some time. And Drew's just adorkable. So I rarely publicly thank my cast. I'm always telling these guys about the Friday cast, and then I'm always bragging to the Friday cast about how great these guys are, so that maybe both will up their game. Not happening yet, but we'll try. Eric's on to me because he's in both. It's like, you two-faced son of a bitch. Anyway, but back to it, guys. There are so many places that I haven't read. I mean, so many places for you to explore. I guess it would be a good idea if I actually... Fantasy Grounds has all the material, but I do like having the proverbial PDF copy in front of me. What's home base? Like, I know Kenro likes going and like renting out and thumbing his nose at the Saren Ray clerics. Spiegler might go talk to Brother Green, also at said library temple. Dubsy has his bridge to hide under.
I'm welcome at the Crook's Nook now.
No, that's right. That's right. Okay. That's right.
Great.
Yeah.
Go patronize Morley Bent a little bit.
Oh, you would be roomies. Man. Oh, where's my artwork? No, not yet. Okay. And then there's Dubsy. Where's our missing dude? Oh, not yet. You know. And there's Kuragga. Are you going to be full conversion cleric? Are you going to take the archetype? Not yet. I think the only guy true to his guns or actually like won't lie to people is the lying hedonistic cleric Kenro, who just does his thing, shows up. You see what you get what you see. You know. The rest of you starting to leave double lives. Anyway. But I digress. Seriously, where do you guys want to go?
I think as far as healing goes, our best bet initially is, for Gregor, you'll head right to the Dawnflower Library. And we'll go see Brother Green, unfortunately, and kind of try and sweet talk him into helping us.
Now, this is a core rule service thing. If you guys go on Archives of Nephthys, you can actually look up for yourselves services versus ritual and spell and how many silver it's going to cost you. I don't know if we're flush with money, or you can haul up in a room and just do the circle patch. You know, everyone's patching up stitching each other's hide, because you guys do have healing kits and you do have the medicine trait, which you can use in 10-minute intervals.
Let's do that.
Yeah, free
I got
healing, right?
medicine train.
Kuragga has medicine training?
I do. I think I might have got it when I picked up
When you
the
leveled?
religion. I don't know, but yeah, I can't remember if I just was trained from the beginning or not.
The barbarian got a skill. I don't ever remember you using that. I remember always leading on the dwarf, and then the second level.
Yeah,
you can
no,
count
I think
divine.
I did get it from the beginning,
Okay.
because I was like, I grew up like in the wilds, and like my mentor kind of would have taught me how to patch myself up.
Oh yeah, like army medic kind of thing, right? And soldier. We put a splint on that and keep walking, soldier. That kind of thing.
Barbarian.
Yeah, yeah.
More like barbarian, like mixing up some mud and mushrooms and shoving it in there.
Mud and mushrooms will cure all for everything, right?
That's why it keeps the scars, right? That's Kuragga likes his scars.
It heals your wound, but we don't want that scar closing up. That makes me look like a wuss. That's funny. Can't have that. Oh, that's funny. All right. Okay. So trolling my map here, all the way down to the
no one's gonna want
Dawnflower
me to heal
Library.
them.
No, I don't think there's like volunteers. You know, they're all like Ken. Clay?
I'll do a medicine check on Ken, and he'll be like, "What are you trying to do?"
Well, okay. Let's see whose needle is bigger. What is your bonus to medicine? Perhaps you guys want to compare to see who's the lead sewing kit guy and who's, aiding or whatever we want to do it.
Or should we just do no one say anything and we all do secret rolls and you just tell us if the
Sure. Hey, Dubsy, how old are you? You can be the guinea pig. What?
I got some medicine myself.
Carol.
if one of us like asks just straight up.
All right, let's go to the top of my initiative order. Dubsy is actually untouched. He's fine. That rubbery little hide does not cut well. Gregar has 8 hit points of wounds. Karam has 16 wounds. Kuragga has 15 wounds. And Cognol has 14 wounds. Now, if you try to heal yourself, the DC cranks from 15 to 20. So it's always good to have a buddy do a reach around for you, if you know what I'm talking about. Make you feel better. So how about we start with Gregar? Not because he has the most, because he has the least. Because if you guys critically fail, you can actually hurt and do damage with these medicine rolls. Just to So, Eric, step forward. Oh, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not saying you have to be Kuragga's guinea pig, but let's start with Gregar. How and whom would you seek healing? Pay cash and just forget these morons? Go to Brother Green?
No, because I'm not as rich as I thought I was, and I think I'll try and save that for some potions. So maybe see if.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can afford to get any more healing from the church. So,
What do you guys have for money?
I think the best we got is to patch each other up.
Consult the old party sheet, because I might have inventory that you guys don't.
I'm showing 23 silver pieces.
59 for Dubsy. Silver.
You can all come over to my my bunk in the church there if you want to use a room to patch yourselves up.
You guys are carrying an actual vial that you haven't identified yet, by the way. If anyone wants to take a crack at that.
Oh, okay. What do you guys think about heading to my dorm or whatever at the temple?
Close to where I'm staying anyway, so
If they stay in the room, if you guys stay in the room, you got to do the sermons. Like Kenro does the anime body double trick with a straw watermelon, and they just think he's there, and he goes off to it.
Don't tell them that yet. Wait till they wake up to tell them that.
No, I don't know. Actually, Ken, were you paying to stay here? Because they'll take donations. If you want to stay for free, you got to go to the sermons. If you want to just rent a room, then you pay money, just like a temple.
I would say that I probably helped out with some of the sermons, but I would have probably added on the flair from Callistra rather than make it all about Sarenrae.
You probably gave us like one free night as well for helping save the city earlier.
Well, Kuragga, yeah. And they're going to use you as a funnel to get as many recruits as these guys, but party too, right?
No, sorry, I thought you meant the other tavern, not the temple.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Some of the barracks have been tapped by the mayor because 2 of Corey's characters have threatened the same mayor. And your buddy Blacksmith, of course, you smooth things over. Mr. Pay Up, Pay Now, and Pay More. Gotta love the ambition of Anyway, sorry, getting a little off track here. Well, if Ken has a room there, and I could actually see, give me some diplomacy, because it might have worked the first time. Yeah, they can use you as a counterpoint. They can make Saren Ray look good by hearing about another religion. You know what I mean? Because here you are thinking you're making converts talking about hedonism, and they're all like blushing and going, "Oh no, healing in Saren Ray," and then they thank you, and oh, would you like to go to the private meal chamber? And you're like, cool. And then when you're away from them, they don't make fun of your goddess, but they talk about the counterpoint. It'd almost be like comparing Catholicism to Christianity, and it's like they have a rosy way of doing it, but they have a passive aggressive way of saying ours is better. See, look at this poor schlep.
Basically, what the speech I would have given would have been like, they would do it behind my back, where my speech would have been doing it basically to them.
It's kind of funny. You converted them. Now they're doing shit behind people's back, and that's part of your dogma. Oh, you're good. Exactly. You're good.
You want diplomacy in open or in the tower?
In the tower.
In the tower?
In the tower.
And I was gonna say probably the temple people, the Saren Ray temple, doesn't get the opportunity often to talk to people from other like obscure legends like his.
Yeah, so like when this is what he's saying is, it's like, oh, I'm sure I got in it, and it's like, yeah, okay, that we could see that working for the first couple days, but days are going by, right? Anyway, no, I'll say you're good for now. You get another free night. Sermon Dare to Compare. Ken gets to stay here for free. Spiegler, you're on the cusp of one of us. Like, I don't know if you're faking it, but they believe you're drinking the Kool-Aid, dude. So they will give you a room, but you can't fill it with friends.
It was more or less just a place to go while we patched ourselves up, and then we could
you can use the
make a plan. Make a quick plan.
Brother Green comes by and he says, brother, why, these are for resting. Please come to the healing ward. Like, come to the infirmary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. And they process you and your friends if you want, or if you want to just buy some low cost bandages off them without tapping your supplies. Or, you know what I mean? Like there's levels of what you can do here, right?
I just figured instead of like just doing it in the middle of the street.
But he gives you the arm, takes you the long way, and he asks you questions. So how are things coming along? How did you find a day in the life, of a devotee? He says quietly, like nudge, nudge. We have titles lined up for you.
I really feel like the light is helping guide my path, and I like what you guys are dishing out. If you do the weekend package, the 3-day to 3-week fast, tithe, party free, adventure free, we have a way for the gods to possibly not purge, but to have you, that draconic side that you've been leading into, we could have it muted and it could be replaced with this second level of Saren Ray archetype. I mean, with Saren Ray's light, so you don't have to wait till 4th level. I mean, so you don't have to wait to experience in the future. Yeah, you're nodding, dude, but this would take you out of the party for 3 days to 3 weeks. Because you have to do the training much. Anyway, this is in the core rules. You guys can actually retrain feats, but you got to take time out to do it. This is not something you can do overnight. And that's the cost. It's really cool. You could dump a feat and take something behind you. Like, we're talking a lower level. Like, this is hugely powerful in the variable of what you can do with your character, but they want you to acknowledge the training montage. So this is definitely a big decision that I'm going to have to take time to think about. And possibly,
oh, he's not pushing you into it, but he's lining it up. He's going to line you up,
As long as I can keep using the dorm here, if that's okay with you guys, while we
well, let me ask you. Let me ask
try
you
and
this.
save.
Are you so drowned in Kool-Aid that you've forgotten about your friend? We only have 3 of the 4 original party, and every day we waste retraining our feats. I mean, learning the ways of Saren Ray is another day. You saw what happened to the humans, right? Down that dungeon. So what do you care about more? Second level feats or grog talk and bringing Joseph in for a
Yeah,
cameo?
that's what I was getting to. I need to finish what I'm doing in the
okay.
dungeon.
Okay.
In
Sorry.
the Gauntlet ruins there. I was trying to tell him, like,
Sorry,
once I've completed my quest in the Gauntlet ruins, and as long as you're okay with, like, every time, if we need to come back again, if it's okay for me to come back here while we complete our quest.
Brother, I noticed the gravel in your voice is almost completely gone. He says, you are already on the path. We are just merely here to guide you a little further down it. Don't fret. Please. If it's Sarenrae's will that your friend survive and it is you that pulls him from that rubble, by all means. Without even having to stay here and tithe or fast. Sarenrae's will might be enacting you to do that very thing.
Whoa.
If you
How
could
about
talk
right now?
Joseph into showing up for a cameo, I might just give you a second level feat. The ways of Sarenrae are very,
Would you like to witness me perform some healing in the name of Sarenrae on my companion right now?
He looks back over his shoulder. You guys are all like wandering around looking. He's like, I would indeed. Cut to the infirmary. And now, now Kuragga has talked this guy into you guys using their infirmary, which means using their supplies. And they, the Sarenraeites, are expecting that lead surgeon Hawkeye from MASH will step aside for Kuragga, and who's our first victim?
Dubsy, I think you... Oh, wait, no, you're fine. Never mind.
Dude, you should have faked that. It's a miracle! It pulled off.
Yeah.
I feel great. Thanks, everybody.
Pretend you're coughing really hard.
Treat illness, right?
Just start ribbiting.
Okay, that's one down. 10 minutes later.
Away.
Sorry, was that?
The minor illusion to wound, and you just make it go away by waving your hand on it.
Prestidigitation, you guys look all bruised.
Good friend Kuragga, I shall require your assistance. I will attempt my my healing on you.
Absolutely, my friend.
Did you just call him Kuragga?
Gregor.
Oh, Gregor. Kuragga. Okay, Gregor. Okay, you got it.
Gregor. Sorry, yeah, I kind of said it, Gregor.
No, that's cool. The accents come back here. Orc's cool. Not everyone talks as smooth as me. I found a balance between the gravelly orc and
I have my old accent from back in the mountain days, but it's mostly gone. Sometimes it resurfaces.
Well, when you started playing, you were all like, "Hey," right? One night of Kool-Aid with this guy, and you're all like, "Hey," right? So he's like, "Hey, this is good. Your anger is gone. Like you're working on it." He thinks you're,
Can never get rid of my rage.
It has its uses. Don't worry. We're not trying to change who you are. We're just trying to change how you act, how you think, how you dress, who you worship, what you buy. But we'll talk about that later. Gregor, is it? An orc. A fellow orc. Of course. Good man. Shove. Sits
I don't
you
have
down.
to target him, do I?
What's that?
I don't have to target him to make a medicine check, do
With
I?
a skill? I don't think we've ever tried that.
I don't think it would do anything, but
That would be kind of cool. You could do it. You could target him like in the combat tracker, right? Or I could set up a target for you. I'm kind of curious to see how this goes down, so let's try this. Okay, you're targeting Gregor, right? I've got you targeting Gregor. Okay, so give me a healing checkout, medicine checkout in the open. 17 is a pass. 2d8, please. It didn't really do it on him, but that's fine.
Very nice. I feel a lot better now.
Yeah, look at that.
Sarenrae, I've done this in your presence. I thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your guidance.
14 hit points back to a guy that was wounded 8. Well done, devotee. He says, but he leans in quietly. He says, but you don't have to double stitch. I mean, it was kind of overkill, but, presentation counts well as well. Who's next? turns to you guys. Anyone?
Hey, it feels pretty good. Made my toes curl.
Fresh gauze. Now you guys witnessed. Okay, they can't help it.
I think I heard him crack.
While Kuragga was healing Gregor and the orcs looking on, right? When turning to you, Brother Green spoke in common, but the three of them kind of fall into true orcish. And they're laughing, and it looks like a bunch of Klingons drinking and healing each other. Like, this is not a pretty kind of thing going, you know. And then when he's done, you know, it's like you ever see a guy got a tattoo? There's bandages and there's ink everywhere. It's messy, but then the guy wipes it off. It looks pretty clean, right? So, like, you know, when they hose him off, pretty neat stitching. But anyway, who else is hurt?
I think I'll hand the tools over to Kenro or Kenoro.
All good, my friend. I can help you out. It looks like you still have a little bit of blood on you there. That's probably your own.
Actually, he says, he's doing such a great job, my good man. He says, standing over you. What if you tried to up the ante, you're on a roll, and heal yourself, Kuragga, as opposed to letting this... And his face falls flat for just a moment. Fellow of a different faith, have a go at you. What do you say? You want to raise the DC to 20? Huh? If you're lucky? Yeah.
I used to do it in the past, but it's much easier letting someone else. I trust him more than in my own hand.
Oh, a wise choice. You're learning
my wounds
already.
are slightly greater than the ones I just healed.
Yes. No, that is a wise choice. He steps back, acquiesces, and lets Kenro have at you.
Thank you for understanding, Brother Green.
Not at all.
Thank you for having faith in me as well. And medicine check, right?
Don't push your luck, Ken. He made a wise choice. Yeah, medicine check, please.
Skills, medicine. In the tower, in the open, right?
No, in the open's fine. There's some obvious results, right?
That's an 18.
2d8 goes to Kuragga.
These are
You got a much higher...
here.
You know what's coming, right? If you don't do 14 hit points. 11. Not bad. Brings you down to 4 wounds.
As you might have learned, it's supposed to hurt a little bit. It feels good. Makes you know you're alive.
Appreciate your hand.
He turns to you, Ken, and he says something in Orcish. Directly to you, Ken. Do you speak Orcish?
I do not know.
Okay. So you shrug or don't respond?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't speak Orcish. I don't quite get what you said.
Okay. So Kuragga, he says sorry, right? And then he turns to Kuragga, right? Kuragga, you heard him ask Ken, "Do you speak Orc?" Right? And he obviously does not. And then he turns to you and he says, "Do you see? You know, the gaps, the 4 hit points left over, the gaps in the pus, like, see, not bad, you know, like that, you know, but hey, big slap on your back, Kuragga. That's going to leave a good scar, and it's still bleeding because you're still hurt. Who's next? If I might do my impression of Corey, well, sir, I believe Torag will have me and everything I need. And he goes off to heal himself.
Is Corey here right now?
No.
I mean, like...
You guys dragged Cognol out, right? So he came with you.
No, I mean, you just did that so good.
I did, like, Corey's, tone and measure in his voice. I don't do a good Corey impression, but...
Yeah, you got the measuring, like, rip on point.
Yeah. You want to know why? Because when he made this character, he came to me and he's like, I can't do a Scottish accent. So I said, don't do an accent. Just change the way you speak. Use because Corey has a very big voice, right?
The pacing.
Yeah, I said, change the speed, change the measure, change the tone, right? So when he comes on and he starts ripping me, blah, 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 that's Corey, right? And then he plays Cognul and he looks like every, I am a character and I am, he does his Kirk, right? But it works well for Cognul, right? I like to refer to you as rookie because Corey is my age and he played like stuff back in the day, but he hasn't played in 30 years. So as far as hours logged, technically he's also a rookie, but we don't tell him that to his face. Hi, Corey. You're probably going to listen to this.
And this is like the new way of playing too, right? Like people have only been playing on Zoom chats for 5 years, 10 years, you know?
Yeah. So he gets a 17. Oh, wait a minute. That's a fail. He's healing himself. Ah. Well. He fails to heal himself. He'll probably cheat and use magic tomorrow, so we'll just leave him alone. Karam, the little halfling. Also played by Drew.
I'll take some healing, even if it's from the big guy.
Yeah? All right. He was your teammate. You know, trusted him with your life and everything, and he actually got up, got out of here, and brought back help, so how bad with the needle could he be? Go ahead.
I don't know. I didn't know he could use a needle.
Yeah. Didn't know he could use a door handle. The guy threw himself against the wall trying to break out of here. But anyway, he's learned so much. Kuragga, one more go, if you please. And Kuragga's doing them. This means like it's Kuragga 10 minutes, Kuragga 10 minutes, Kuragga, so like an hour later. Go ahead, one more medicine check, please, Speaks. Yes, no?
Well, Bubsy can take over.
Yeah, go.
Let's see. Medicine check. Ooh, 25. Critical.
Now, if you want, it's your own character. If you didn't want to wait 20 minutes in line, you could just turn to him and say, yeah, I gotcha. Right? Little rogue hands and suction cups. He like holds the wound together with two suction cup fingers and like with his top fingers, just imagine taking your thumb and your ring finger and using that to push flesh together. Now take your peace sign fingers, put a needle between them, and actually make a circle with them as it is the needle and thread looping. That is how awesome an epic a 25 heal is. For 48, giving him
17.
And the dude had 16 wounds. Nicely done. Too bad nobody saw it. I don't know. You guys like draw attention to this awesome healing?
I don't like people to know my skills.
Okay. Keep it on the down low.
Kuragga, what a great job you did.
They just look at each other because neither one, Brother Greenham, don't remember like stitching up the halfling. He just smiles and. Okay. So, exit stage left. Karam, you're here at the library. You're an investigator, and I believe you came from Absalon, and this is where we found you inside library. Where were you staying? Do you remember where you were staying?
I do not remember where I was staying for the nights, but yeah, I was spending most of my time in the library doing research.
I remember all the crab meat and fish and stuff that Kuragga and Party A was like guzzling, and you guys were ingratiating yourself at the Crook's Nook, took on the thief mission, went in there, and you guys were in and out a couple times with the goblin. I just don't remember. Where you guys were staying. Anyway, but for now, we could just say, you can stay here or exit stay left, right? But you need to be around in case something terrible happens to Dubsy and you want to revive this character. That's fine. But I'm not going to let you. It would not be cool to have you play two characters in dungeon. Like, that was a rescue mission, so one stays out. Okay. Which brings us to Kenro. Was Kenro hurt?
No, I'm good. Apparently, I don't have any wounds.
Okay.
I think I got healed up in the last battle, and then we just kind of left it that way.
Now, if you guys look at treat injury, it's an hour apart. It's not a day apart, right? Or do we need to switch medics to get that last 4 hit points out of Kuragga?
Yeah, it's every hour.
Okay. Also, there's the proverbial day, right? You get your level times con or whatever. So Kuragga would like just heal this overnight. Right?
Most likely.
Okay. So, it's been a long day. you guys have, whether it's even morning or noon or night, going to the hospital, to an ER, there's hours of waiting, hitching, stitching, you're sore. It really isn't a walk-in revolving door 10-minute and out. You guys really should take the day to rest, that kind of thing. And I will cut to nighttime. So let's say it's hours later. Let's start with Dubsy. I'm not saying it's the middle of the night. I'm just saying it's hours later.
Dubsy's just going to be hanging out at the Crook's Nook.
So you show up without a rogue, without results. No, wait a minute. Didn't you guys find the fourth one? Did you guys find the body?
We found the... Oh, yeah, we wanted to bring the dead body back.
Yeah, we had the body by the altar that we brought back.
Yeah, we...
was that this trip? Was that this trip?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was when we left from the Drake. Kuragga saw the mutated body.
And you guys grabbed him?
Yeah, and we grabbed him.
Okay.
Because I think he called me over and I helped carry him.
Okay, so you guys bring him to the temple, and they take the body, and now you go to the Crook's Nook and you want to say that's where you can find your friend, or do you just try to steal the body? Or, because I'm assuming Kuragga would just... Oh, no, Kuragga was in on the mission. Kuragga, would you want to make a pit stop at the Crook's Nook and get paid?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Sorry to do this to you, Dubsy, but, he knows what this guy is worth. Right?
That's fine. I'll take credit later.
Okay.
Did my, service boy come and bring you the body of your friend? Yeah, I found him. But, sometimes you have to have good labor.
Yeah, he ate his weight in seafood as payment.
Oh, man.
Wouldn't take cash. Said something that he's living on seafood and Sarenrae these days. It was weird. But he did pay for your bar tab.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Okay. Can I have perception? Feel free to argue with me, Spiegler, since I'm literally putting actions in your head. 28. You don't have a bar tab. You've never drank here. Or when they did seal the deal with you and you started drinking with them and you thought it was free, it wasn't, and now, right? Either way, Kuragga got to the body and the money first and you just kind of got hosed. However, at least they're not mad at you, right?
I did what I said I would.
So, the Crook's Nook leader, do you remember her name?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, something.
Yin Yasmira?
Thank you.
There you go.
Yin Yasmira asks, how long you plan on sticking around town?
Oh, I don't like to plan too far ahead. A night here, a night there, down into the dungeons, back.
I may have a more permanent position for you in the future, depending if you survive with your new friends in the Gauntlet Ruin. If you want to retire the adventuring life and become a respectable, and she just smiles at you, meaning, guild member, stay in town, rob everyone that's not a local, you let me know.
Oh, I like the opportunity. I keep all my doors and windows open.
Well, you as a cast member might get tired of this character, or the audience, or, Karen might resurface and demand his right as first party, and a retirement plan is always, a good idea. So. First job would be catch more seafood. That bastard wiped us out. I mean, the dude took the winter frozen store, but he was eating frozen fish before we could cook it for him. The guy's a monster. Okay, it's incredibly, it's scary, is what it is. So, if you want a job fishing, get us some more seafood. Yeah. Gregor. You wanted to go pester the old man?
Yes, I will go back and
With nothing to show for it. Are you sure?
With nothing to show for it, other than a good beating.
He's just gonna go beat the guy.
No. Saying that we got a good beating, but that there's we did find deeper chambers, right?
You show him your fresh scar.
So just gonna. Yep, and then just tell him that there's more promising treasures ahead. If you can just be patient, that we will provide the dividends. However, in the meantime, if he could fund some of the encouragement for the party so that we can keep going, we won't have to travel back to the town so often. So I don't know if he can get us a discount at a general store or anything like that where we could possibly purchase supplies, healing potions, say.
Let's go back to your initial conversation. Do you talk about who's in your party? Like, I know you claim to have this party, right? And he doesn't know you guys. And then you go in and you say, okay, and we're going to get you riches. You come back a couple days later or a day later and you just have scars, so it looked like the dungeon kicked your ass. And then you have all these promises, and now you're asking for a discount. So I'm just curious. Who's in your party? Who are these people? Like, he's wondering if you're making people up.
Oh, I see. No, we actually have someone from the church, one of the locals. Kuragga, I believe his name is, another fellow orc. We have another cleric, a questionable.
Wait, Kuragga, the orc barbarian, the town savior.
Yes.
Kuragga, the crab destroyer.
Yes.
You bring him here.
The one and only.
You bring him here. I want to meet him. And then we'll talk to this
Very
guy.
well. That can be arranged.
Yeah, okay. So off you go. Ken, you schmoozed your way into another sermon. Congratulations. Which also... Yeah. Well, you diplomacied your way to a free night. That means they're going to want to pick your brain or prop you up or whatever, right? And these buggers get up at a godly hour in the morning, like before dawn. And then halfway through the sermon, when they get to the apex of their speech, the dawn breaks as if, their goddess is like putting the big stamp of okay on whatever they told their flock.
But my sermon, basically, I found this recently, and it kind of applies to the church that I believe Ken would be following. It says, as the sermon would go, I'd be up there talking about how, it's crazy, my friends, how our bodies are literally built for pleasure, and overly aesthetic patriarchal religions try to tell us that these pleasures of the flesh is evil. We have thousands of taste buds for enjoying food and drink. Happy hormones are triggered when we dance. We can sing and entertain others and ourselves. A conscious, aligned sex with a good partner feels great and improves your health. We have beautiful eyes, figures, lips, hair to attract each other. We laugh so hard we cry, and it feels great. The smell of a rose in the warm summer breeze lifts my mood instantly.
Give me performance.
Our bodies are so sacred. Nature is sacred. The divine swells in earth and within us just as much as up there.
Give me diplomacy or performance, your choice.
Let's see what we got.
I don't even give you a +2. That was pretty dope. +1 because it was cool. +2 because I thought you were done and I interrupted you.
That's all good. They're both the same, diplomacy and performance. Tower in the open.
Openly. Let's see.
That is a 9. Plus an extra 2 would be 11.
Okay. They look like an oil painting. Now, you don't get booed or jeered and no one disagrees with you. Luckily, Saren Ray is not one of those religions that say, drink is bad, sex is bad. They're more of a everything in moderation. So they dig what you're saying, but you seem like someone's, like you're really hyped up and this guy really, really likes this stuff like an addict. Like, they like food, they like, partners and all that stuff. But I would say that with a 9, your sermon kind of falls flat. But like I said, it's not disregarded. It's not boo, get him off. It's not some critical fail. And who knows, we have rotten cabbage in a barrel that we keep for special occasions to throw at people. And no, it's still there rotting. Nothing gets tossed your way.
But like a deal's a deal, man. That was good. And you get your, you get your freebie night, your weekend, that kind of thing. Kuragga. Yeah. Oh, Kuragga. Sweet Kuragga. Come on. Open the mic. Get up here.
What?
So you listen to Ken's speech. Brother Green is right beside you. And he's watching your reaction. But he's polite. He doesn't lean in and whisper like you're at a movie and like discounts anything the man says. The guy has enough respect for other religions that he sits there silently and watches the sermon. But he does glance at you several times, you notice, to see your reaction. I'm curious what you thought of Kenro's speech. Mr. Party Time.
I've never heard anything like it before.
You're like a moth to a flame. Look at his face. Sorry, you can't hear the speaker's voice, but he's looking for new Kool-Aid already.
It's tough for me to relate because I haven't had much intimacy in my life.
You fought pleasure in battle. Kenro's message is pleasure in all things, not just sex and food, right?
That's true.
No, I don't think it's wise he wasn't talking about cutting down your enemies to this crowd. But I'm sure Ken has slipped you a little bit of like, play to the audience, right? Ken gets you alone. Ken, back me up on this, Troy.
Yes,
you get
sir.
the walk into town, the walk out, right? That crap you pulled in the dungeon, you pulled the light spell off of him and then threw it back in your own God's name. I love that. That was great. Do you work him? Do you work Kuragga? Or you leave him alone?
I would say that there's probably a little bit of friendly ribbing going on because he's a new disciple of Sarah and Ray, or a new finder, and
Okay.
I would like to say that he should probably explore all of his options before he makes a decision.
So you're like the friend where the guy gets all excited about a pyramid scam, and you're like, hey man, like I know scams, right?
Is it as with pleasures of the flesh, you kind of want to see what everything has to offer before you decide what you really want to get into.
Okay. But you don't lean on him like play to the strengths, like get him talking about battles and the pleasure of this and the pleasure of all that kind of thing.
I respect his decisions enough to not, poo-poo his decision, but I'll let him know there's upsides to where my following lies.
Okay.
Well.
Okay. Because like what you did in the dungeon was sweet. That was like a real flip, and I was just curious if you carried that vibe on. Like anything he's learned, you lean in and keep flipping. I'm just curious.
I'm assuming there would be like depending on the conversations that happen, they'd have to arise. I can't just say right off the top of my head here, but
now being the party cleric and coming into contact with not one but two, because our monk is spiritual, and now you see the guy keep opening his Torag book. What would Torag do at the gate? Opens his book. What would Torag do at the stairwell? He keeps pulling out his little book and checking for, right? Because he did the archetype second level thing. We did this with Corey, right? So I'm just curious, with these guys in the party, would you lean on the fresh meat like Gregor and Dubsy?
I'd have to interact with them a little more on a one-on-one basis, I think, just to see how I could. If I had an in, I would definitely be looking to try to find an in to recruit them to the side, but it'd matter of how the conversations went.
Okay.
But there'd be seeds being planted. When we're talking and stuff, I'll always try to plant seeds of how wonderful it is to be.
Yeah. Well, the direct approach. they're going to a temple of Sarenrae in the town like every other day, so that's the frontal approach is probably not your best. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just curious, and just keeping that kind of thing. So, Kuragga, midnight sermon. 1 second. Midnight sermon, and Ken gets up there, says a spiel, and he's welcome to stay, but he slinks away in the dead of night, and they get into their big spiel, and I'm hesitant. Am I overstepping Troy's awesome role play by having Brother Green do a sermon? I think I'll save that for another sessions, for another type of thing. I don't want to trounce. The player went to a lot of I don't want to trounce him. And if you start slipping, or if we want you to lean in more because they're taking the frontal approach, right? They gave you the orc buddy. You've got your sober orc buddy, right? Whispering in your ear, Sarenrae, right? They're going to keep with that approach. So he sits with you in the pews. We listen to Ken, and then Sister Diana gets up there. And, thank you, Brother Ken, type of thing. Anyway, she takes from his sermon and then reaffirms his themes, but in Sarenrae, like, isn't it better in moderation? Let's talk about, don't worry, we're not one of those religions that like no sex, no food, no that, we're in moderation and great joy and this type of thing and all. And they eventually, as the dawn breaks, wrap it around to all things good under the sun, healing, suntans, California, all that kind of thing. And I'm going to give, let's say, a plus per level. Okay, you got a third, fifth level person up there. So I'm going to give Sister Diana the good old, where is it here? It's 4, being a fourth level-ish. Now, this is not doing the scale of perform or whatever, but I'm going to roll 2 and take the best. So I'll take the 10, giving her a 14. So comparing to Ken's 9, she gets a 14. This is not even 15 as in like mildly moving, or a 20 where it's like everyone's nodding, or a 25 where everyone's like, Dubsy's a man, healing for everybody. You know what I mean? It's almost there. It's Guardian of the Galaxy 3. 7.5, 8's overrated, and that kind of thing. So I'm not going to ask how inspired you are, type of thing. But I am curious. We get to the next day, you get your freebie, and everyone has business the next day, right? Everyone's gone off to do stuff, and you guys, maybe there's a silent agreement that everyone gets a day off, and then we'll regroup tomorrow afternoon for a meal or the next day and talk about tackling the dungeon again. This is an assumption that you guys have kind of worked with before, right? Bright and early, after meal and rest and meditation, Gregor pops up.
Good morning.
What's going on, buddy? How you been doing?
Not so good. Is you seen Kuragga around? I need to have him swing by Morley Bent's. I think it could work out to our advantage if we can convince him to play up his role in the combat with the creature that supposedly attacked the town.
Oh, hey, Ken. Hey, Greg, what's going on?
There he is. Speak to the devil and he shall arise.
Kuragga. I'm running into some issues with Morley Bent. Just wondering if I could bring you along and chat with the old guy. He's the owner, the proprietor of the bookstore in town. Seeing if we can bring him back some treasures in exchange for goods up front to help us explore. But unfortunately, coming up short. So I'm hoping that you can wow him with your exploits against the creature that attacked the town, a crab of some kind.
Well, it'll be my first trip into the bookstore yet, but sure, I'll come with you.
Just flex a little bit, try to explain some of your moves.
I got all the scars. I can show him and tell him the stories about them.
This is like Cognule and you and the blacksmith all over again, trying to get a discount, or the mayor. The drill. So you drag him over there?
Yes, we'll head over to Morley Bent's.
The rest of the party is aware of their actions. Did you guys want to go along?
Ken, I was going to say, I'll ask Ken what he's up to, if he's coming with us or if he's got other plans, and then what times we should all meet back up.
I was going to go find Dubsy if he's around.
Oh, hey guys.
I can go get him and then join up and we can meet you there.
W's like clinging to the ceiling and he just like drops 2 of the hands.
How long you been up there?
He's been watching you sleep all night, dude. It's creepy. Just
I heard there might be food over here.
Yeah, where are you guys headed right now?
Just kind of relaxing for the day. Rest off some of those wounds from yesterday. That Drake was something else, that's for sure.
Can you try and think up any battle plans maybe for when if we want to have to fight it again? Some sort of weakness it's got to have.
Where were you two headed off to?
I'll have to see if we can get us resupplied and restocked before we head back in.
Well, what do you think, Dubs? Would you like to join me and do some research about that Drake while these two try to find us some discounts on our supplies?
None of that sounds very entertaining.
What is your entertainment then, my friend?
Well, I don't know. Tossing some dice, seeing some new travelers in town, and stealing nothing. Hanging out.
Hanging out. Well, would you like me to let you hang out by yourself while I go and look up some research?
I check myself for my coin purse, make sure it's still there.
Yeah, there's extra in it. He stores stuff on you because no one's going to like accuse the orc they would get killed. So you're his bank. You have like 3 pouches. You don't even know why.
I can't even tell because it's just I'm too dumb.
Just kidding.
Like, what's it like Fallout where you reverse pickpocket a grenade into someone's pouch rather than taking it out?
Something like that, yeah. So, cutting to Moribund's, okay? Let's talk about making an impression, okay? When you guys have at least 1 minute of conversation, every time somebody tries to do diplomacy, it's always on the run. We're on the street, whatever, okay? You literally have the guy at his home. You're going to have like 20 minutes to chat this guy up, right? And you have a celebrity and a plan. Gregor's our lead, you know, that kind of thing. Using diplomacy, 1 minute conversation in which you engage in charismatic overtures, flattery, and other acts of goodwill. I know a celebrity, right? You seek to make a good impression on someone to make them temporarily agreeable. And this is where a lot of players fail. They're like, 1 roll. Look, I got a 25. Yes, that's right, Your Highness. Give me your crown. I run the kingdom now. And they think like 1 roll and it's like forever friend. It's not how it works. I do blame previous editions for being so vague on this. So second edition is kind of cutting into some terminology here that's to be clear. And just so that we are clear, temporarily acts of goodwill and make them temporarily agreeable. At the end of this conversation, attempt a diplomacy check against the will DC of 1 target, modified by any circumstances the GM sees fit. This could be in your favor, celebrity, +2, or Gregor's just annoying me, -2, because he came back without stuff, and you're on par. Who knows? But that's how that would work. Good impressions, bad impressions. On a critical failure. Critical success, there's a chart. Most people are indifferent. They don't care about you. Okay? If they're friendly, hi, you know, come into my store. But it doesn't automatically actually make them friendly towards you because they want to put on that performance. So a lot of shopkeepers, although they act friendly, are technically still indifferent. You get them up to helpful, then they'll actually start doing things for you. And sometimes these are just small things, right? And then there goes the other way. There's, you know, indifferent, then you get down to hostile and stuff, right? So, on our way to Moribund's, you guys need to decide who's going to do the talking. You know, are you guys going to have Kuragga walk in there and just do the Tom Cruise and glad hand him and blah, 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 blah. And this is my friend Kuragga, and he's the lead. Have Kuragga, who already has a relationship with the guy, present said celebrity, you know, and
Gregor,
sorry. Present said celebrity, Kuragga, and, you know, and friends to prove his legitimacy so the guy doesn't think he's scamming him, or any other approach. I mean, Ken is a pretty smooth dude. You know, maybe the guy's got some secret desires. How would you guys go about your first official schmoozing? Because we've had 2 or 3 in this campaign. They've all been led by Corey, and they've all gone kind of flat. So,
yeah, in this case, leveraging the party strength, I think Kenoro would probably be our best bet, or Karam or Dubsy. I'm not sure. I don't think Gregor or Kuragga are the speakers here.
he's got the biggest diplomacy. I do like Spiegler's secret roles, but this is kind of a one, like it really kind of counts. So you might want to talk about actual numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm more of the deception type of guy. I don't do truth well, or making people like me.
Fair.
No, that can work because you can just make stories up about me while I stand there. You be my little like, I present Kuragga.
Well, what you could do is you start with the diplomacy of like what the man knows, and then Dubsy steps in with a huge backstory of all of his feats. That's all bullshit to prop up what we know about saving the town.
And then you can use your deception skill.
But you don't want to like lead with that. But it would be good to follow up later if you like.
Right.
So, no, that's a pretty cool idea. You would be stacking them. But as far as the frontal assault, who's our guy? Who's our diplomancer?
See, Gregor is more of a debate through logic, and then if that doesn't work, he'll intimidate.
Come on, let's hear those numbers. What do you got? What's your plus? Are you
I'm a
trained?
+2.
Untrained +1.
Is anyone trained in diplomacy at all?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I got
damn.
a trained deception of +4.
If only you knew
I've got a
somebody that
trained
was
deception
trained in
of
diplomacy.
I'm with Dubsy on the deception there. We can
Okay.
go spinning yarn.
You guys do know someone trained in diplomacy, but he's buggered off. You don't know where he is. Jargon Whitmore, you're
I had
barred.
to track him down.
Yeah.
But like I said, didn't take the hint. And if you guys are like, where's Jargon? Yeah, let's get him. And then I might let you prop up the NPC. But since there was that 2, 3, 4, they're not getting it. And I reveal,
Yep. We
good
missed
luck finding him. Yeah.
it.
And besides, it's a player-driven game. So off you go. Untrained or not, it's all good. Oh, you know what? That is a good question. Thank you asking it to myself silently in my head. Some of the follow-up skills under diplomacy, such as, like make an impression, some things are trained only. So let's just double check diplomacy to make sure that charisma, diplomacy, gather information, make an impression, changing attitudes, indifferent, unfriendly, hostile. That's the 2 below it. No one can do this, blah, blah, blah. Make a request, critical failure. No, those things are trained. Okay. Anyone can have a go at schmoozing with raw charisma by the look of it.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
good. That's good. Well, some things like medicine needs like training. You can't just like, I don't know, stitch up the wound. You could do more harm than good. Anyone can have a go at going, nice eyes. Don't I have them? No, you're supposed to compliment his eyes. Oh, well, I'm not trained, but blink, blink.
Oh, Gregor's more nice eyes. Want to keep them?
It's intimidating. Nice.
Mhm.
All right. Ken's sermon.
Is it?
The audacity that the rookie move of teleporting onto a scene, but you got to admit Spiegler's getting really smooth at it. The callback where I mentioned the place where Dubsy stays is at a food, and he shows up here going, I'm looking for food. You guys went right over your heads. I caught it. That's good, Drew. And this one, Eric, with the more intimidate. So I am happy. We've done an hour. Everyone's got a really good thing in there that's impressed me. I'll reset your hero points to 1. And as you arrive at Morrowbins, let's hear it. Changing the scene to the man himself. We just cut to, you've got him there. He's sitting down by the fire. You guys are all lined up. And he's meeting you. And there's the big spiel. Who's doing it?
I like nudge Gregor and we like get it started and then pass it on to Dubsy.
Very well. So, as I promised, could be as I am a man of my word, even though I didn't deliver this time. We did free some people. You wanted Kuragga? Here's Kuragga. You wanted the magnificent warrior who freed your town from that horrible threat so that you could continue on? Here he is. You wanted the master of disaster himself? The person who wrestled with your town's nemesis in order to ensure that you continued living? Here he is.
No, keep going, keep going, Kermit. That's awesome.
Cup of coffee in the big time.
Morrowbin turns to you directly, Kuragga, and asks you in the third person, because I can't remember the accent I used for him. This is true? He asks you, like, you know him, you guys are in the same party, or even friends?
I would give my life for Gregor and the rest of the people you see here with me. I owe them that. We've gone through it together, just as much as the first party I was with.
He invites you guys to sit, tea and cookies, and wants to hear the tale from the beginning. He wants to hear your account of coming to town, everything up to the zombie apocalypse, and everything after, straight from your lips, and he wants the first account. You know what I mean? Like he wants to be personally told your story up until now. Do you guys do this? Do you agree?
Do you want me to actually do that, or are we
No. That would be hours of. Like, he wants you guys to sit down and have tea and cake.
All right, guys,
and he wants to hear
back,
the whole thing.
Grab yourself a cup of coffee. I'm going to be talking for a while here.
He changes accents, like goes from Kuragga to like, okay, everybody, make yourself comfy. I love it.
Put on my glasses.
Yeah, sits down, pulls out a book. He's got his own journal, memoirs. Pulls out his book and starts reading from it. One of my favorite
Dubsy, I need you to do like hand signals, like shapes, hand shapes, you know?
As he tells the story, Dubsy acts it out behind you.
Shadow puppets, that's it.
Plays the mighty Kuragga. All right. Well, Gregor was going for the fast, hey, let's make a deal, because like he wants in and out. And I'm thinking about this guy, and it's like, no, he has you here in his house. It's like, sit down, tell me everything, right? And it also legitimizes, right? So if you guys are willing to spend like the rest of the day here, because he asks you questions, lots of questions. He keeps interrupting your story. And then you finally get to these guys, and you think it'd go faster because everyone's talking. No, now he has questions for Party B, each one of you. Gregor's ready to pull his face off. We'll kill this guy. But if you're willing to stay and suffer the huge story, yes? I better call
as long as there's crackers, keeps coming.
Yeah. Well, he has the proverbial plate and coffee for everyone, and then like when the coffee runs out, he'll make more. Okay.
I'm actually going to ask him about a drake that lives underneath Gauntlet Ruins, if he's ever heard of it.
Oh, it's a very good question. Well, I'll tell you this. You will get the answer to that question, and you will learn if he's been impressed enough. Give me diplomacy, everyone, in the tower.
Everyone?
Yep, in the tower. And then you won't know the results of the rolls, and I want to know who's leading. It sounded like it was Kuragga. In the tower, Kuragga. Yeah, noted. In the tower, Kenro. Also,
you might throw in a couple of little
deception.
lies.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Deception.
Did you want Dubsy to do a little?
That's up to you, Dubsy.
Well, a little deception's always good for the soul.
He's given me both here. Okay. And Gregor, you're our guy.
If you don't give us this discount, we're never gonna survive.
Should be the first roll.
Are you sure? Because it looks like you're wearing discounted clothes already. That's off the rack.
No, I was just saying what Dubsy was saying.
Kuragga, Kenro, Dubsy twice. I don't see a Gregor in here.
Okay.
In the tower.
Try that again.
That's fine. Okay. Now, without telling you how the results have gone, I will tell you this. Dubsy's deception happens to be, as high or low as it is, the highest roll. And Gregor's diplomacy happens to be the lowest roll. And we will see you all with all our answers next time.
Oh boy.
Warlock cast arcane gate because we need an escape. This magic weapon refused to turn the tide. It breathes by all of its saints. Who cares if we're a disgrace? In just one shove, our wizard rolled death and fell. Tell me what we'd brawl this thing. Too many limbs that sting. All of us flayed food for its spawn. Up our XP and then we'll bring new dice for the slaying. A pretty mix, blue, black, and gold. Rolling higher, love. Oh, tell me not to give up. Provoke me, haste me, faster dash. Returning, churning, savage attack. The character so cozy, buckets of dice. You know me, I'm gonna write all these actions down. Blood bubbles below, see camping next to coyotes. I don't wanna die, let's head back to town. Let's head back to